the pass to Johnson. Johnson still going. Doggies again. Johnson. Into the weighted round. Round goes in to score. Ali Salvia down the touchline. Oh, this is unbelievable. They're gonna win it. Oh, what scenes here, what scenes. LeBron James, a shot at history. LeBron stands alone. The NBA's all-time scoring record now belongs to LeBron James.
How good, STS, back in your eardrums for another week. She's a stacked podcast as well, plenty to get through today. Of course, my 150th on the weekend, still feeling a little dusty off the back of that one. The boys got the job done, wasn't exactly in the most beautiful of fashion, but hey, a win's a win. And then off the back of that, some of the scenes, the celebrations, they were truly elite. So fair to say, the dust is still rising, the hangover, it's only just left the body. But you best believe your boy is going to be fired up to take on Takapuna again this weekend and up the mighty coat. Did want to say as well, thanks to everyone who reached out. Congratulations for the 150th. There were messages flooding in left, right and centre. So truly appreciate it and grateful for everyone's support. She's a stacked potty today. Special guest, Joshy Curran in the mixer. So looking forward to that yarn. Plus, of course, we'll talk all things Super Rugby, some punting, the weekly wrap. Tick off old Rory McIlroy finally winning the Masters. Plus, of course, we've got the NBA playoffs kicking off now too, which is always a great watch. So without further ado, let's get into this week's potty with the legend Josh Curran. Of course, shout out to the TAB as well, headline sponsor of the pod. If you're going to have a flutter this weekend, do so responsibly, but do so through the TAB, and we really appreciate their support. Right, we miss him here at the Warriors, but of course he's ripping up at the Doggies now, and it's great to have him on for a yarn. Josh Curran, bro, how are ya?
I'm good, brother. I'm good. Thanks for having me. The North Coast veteran now, Hall of Fame, you reckon?
Yeah, Hall of Famer. Still a bit dusty off the back of that, bro. But geez, that lid of yours is looking impressive. I've asked you a couple times if you've ever cut it. Clearly, you're not going to. She's looking luscious, mate.
Nah, yeah, I'm definitely not going to cut it, man. I feel like if I cut it, the missus will probably pack her stuff up and leave. But nah, bro, I like the long hair, and I'm receding a bit, so probably not too far off being bald. So I've got to keep it as long as I can.
Oh, just on that, I saw that Bronson Jerry stuff, which was crack up on social media about the hair transplants and whatnot. And then I see the Turkish place came back and was like, we'll have you and any of your teammates in the off season. Are there any of the lads that are going to jump at that? Because shit, I'd be keen, but I'm not a Doggies player. Surely a few of the boys are going to take them up.
Yeah, the media team was stitching him up. Then they actually reached out. I think Bronze there could be a couple that go. Well, a couple definitely need it. So yeah, it's a good opportunity, man. Mainly if they're paying for everything.
Bye week last week, I saw you were pretty busy on socials. What did you get up to, bro? And do you guys get like the full week off, or do you still do some light training? Do you have to go in and rehab, or is it like spend the week away and get the body right to go again?
Yeah, so we trained Monday, Tuesday, had Wednesday, Thursday, Friday off. Oh, sorry, trained Monday off, trained Tuesday, Wednesday, had Thursday, Friday, Saturday off, then back in on training on Sunday. But yeah, I just went out west, done some community work. The youth crime's getting pretty bad out there, obviously. There's not really much happening out them areas, and all these kids are getting into trouble. So it's like a big chain, you know. The older kids are showing like the 17-year-olds, and the 17-year-olds are showing the 13-year-olds. So I just took my time out to go out to Dubbo, Wellington, and Orange just to be around the kids, have a yarn with them, just tell them like, you know, it's really not worth it. They might think it's cool now, but you know, in 20 years' time, 15 years' times, if they're behind bars, it's definitely not worth it. So I just try to go out there and just have a little yarn. The worst part is like, you know, these kids, all they just want to be loved and just be heard. So I went out there and had a little yarn with all of them, and they loved it. It was the best.
Right, that's unreal. Is that something you're passionate about for kind of like life after footy? Because I see you doing quite a lot of stuff out in the community.
Yeah, 100%. You know, footy doesn't last forever, and yeah, it's something I'm very passionate about. If I can help one or two kids, I know I'm not going to get through to all of them, but if I can help one or two, hopefully it breaks that change. So yeah, it's definitely something I'll be looking to do after football. But we're saying that hopefully footy goes for another 10 more years.
Right, well, with the way you're playing and with the way the Doggies are going at the moment, it might, bro. Top of the table, 5 from 5, last undefeated side in the comp. You must be pretty happy with how the year's started so far.
Yeah, it's been mad. I think the best part about it, we come to training every day. We're not complacent. Obviously we're 5 and 5, 5 and 5, and the vibes are high, but we're still going to training and wanting to learn. We look back at our game against Newcastle, and to be fair, we actually we played like don't get me wrong, we did play good, but there's a lot of parts of our games that we definitely need to fix up. So I think that's probably the best part about this group. We always go to training, and we're always wanting to learn, and there's no complacency. And obviously we're 5 and 5, which is mad, and the vibes are high. But we come up against Rabbitohs, which is going to be a hard game.
Yeah, and it hasn't been easy for you guys either. Like, no burden, no kick out for the majority of the start of the season. And a lot of teams have faced injuries so far and they haven't been able to go with the best teams. You guys haven't dropped off at all. What do you kind of put that down to? Like, you've got depth, but it seems like all these guys that come in just have they're in career best form at the moment.
Yeah, no, that's the best part. We have a motto, just like it's the next man up. Um, and yeah, like you said, all these boys that are coming up. Like we had Jack Todd. Harry Hayes is playing his best. He's in his career best form. We got Daniel Fafita. Like we got all these boys that can replace the other boys and just step into their positions. And they definitely don't look out of place. That comes back to our preseason. Dogs preseason's hard as. I remember in preseason, there's been a couple of days where I'm just like, far out. Just looking at myself in the mirror saying, what am I doing?
Yeah.
But no, it's all worth it, it's all paying off in the season.
No, you guys look like a real connected group on and off the field. And you mentioned the preseason there. I saw a clip of you guys doing like some army camp, which looked off its head, bro. I would have just walked out straight away. The instructor was into you. But is it things like that help make you guys such a close group? Because it looks like off the field, guys know how to have fun. You get around each other. But on the field, I think it shows how bonded you are in the performances as well.
Yeah, 100%. Obviously, preseason isn't fun, and there's some very dark days. But looking back at it now, we do it for a reason. Them dark days we go through it with the boys, and it sounds pretty stupid, but it actually brings you together because you've done all the hard work and everything together. Like last year, I think there's maybe 5 games where we actually played with 12 people. Like we had a sin bin and we played with 12 people, and we just, I don't know. It sounds weird, but we just get a buzz from it. So it is mad, and all the preseason's paying off. But with saying that, Sarah said it after the Knights game. You don't win comps in April, so we still got a long way, and we still got heaps to work on, and it is still a long season.
You mentioned last year, bro. Did you guys feel any pressure coming in off the back of last year? Because I feel like 2023 wasn't a great season for the club. 24, though, you guys were unreal. All of a sudden, the supporters are out again. Everyone's talking up your chances for this year. Did you feel like a bit of expectation coming in this year just to prove it wasn't like a one-season wonder?
Probably not. I think we last year we went good. But that Manly game, where like we watched it back in preseason, and there was so much that we done right, but then there was just little moments that where we clicked off. So I feel like we kind of come into this season as a redemption season. Obviously we went good, but we knew the talent and the standards that we had. So we really wanted to chase our preseason, and I guess you can say like our first 5 games, we really ran after it. But yeah, like I said, you don't win comps in April, so we've still got another 20 games left.
Yeah, nah, for sure. Cam Serraldo, bro. I've heard Bulldogs players reference him non-stop, crediting him for how well they're playing at the moment, but also the team and the systems you guys have in play. What makes him so special?
Oh, bro, he's just he's like he's like one of the boys. As a coach, he's a real good coach. He's like, man, he'll break down a tackle, but then like break down that part of that tackle, and you just like, there's so much like that goes into it, and we're such a defensive orientated team where the like we go like defense win games, and no matter what situation we get put in, like we always strive for it, and we always try to be the best. Like we're trying to go, like we were good last year, now like we want to go great, and we just want to keep building our game up until hopefully we get to the GF and win it.
Right, you've allowed 14 points in the last 3 games, which is pretty crazy. It must make for some brutal training sessions, though, because when you're a defensive focused team, that means you're practicing your D non-stop, which means you're ripping into each other. It must take a toll on the body.
Yeah, to be fair, there's been a couple of training sessions where the coaches actually had to pull it back. Uh,
Yeah.
the boys have just went to a new standard and lifting their intensity. And yeah, there's been a couple of training sessions where they're just like, oh, all right, boys, let's pull it back a little bit. Like it's good, the intent, but we got a game this week. We don't want anyone to get hurt. So I think it's also full credit to the boys. Each training session they're always chasing it, and we're always going out and banging at each other.
You've been playing in the middle and on the edge. Obviously, which do you prefer? I think I know the answer, and it's the edge, although you've been playing a lot more in middle lately, and you've been going really well as well. So which do you prefer, and how's the body after a stint in the middle? Because I remember last year after you played the Warriors, we were over for that game, we went out for dinner, you'd played in the middle that day, and you were getting like full body aches post-game. How does the rig handle it now, kind of week in, week out?
Nah, I love the middle. Like, I mean, I'll play anywhere for the team, but I think props probably my position now. But it's good. Like, I like the versatility. I can go edge if I want to, or even if I have to, I can go center. But probably props my position. It gets me in the game more. So I'm loving the hard work, and back fence carries hurt, but it's all worth it. But yeah, after that Warriors game, we actually still speak about it to Marcy now. We were talking about it, and that was probably one of our hardest games that year because it was just bang for bang.
Yeah, that was intense and went right down to the wire too. It was heartbreaking for us, but I was also happy to see you get the dub, bro. I was, I was happy to see you get the dub. In terms of your personal form, bro, you must be pretty happy. You're looking fit. You're playing big minutes and scoring a couple tries too. Are you happy with how things have started so far?
Yeah, obviously, I'm pretty happy, but obviously we've got a lot of work to be done. But yeah, I've had a pretty good preseason. Dropped another maybe 5 kilos, 6 kilos. So I'm weighing a bit light, but no, I'm feeling fit as ever. And yeah, when I get on the field, I can definitely feel the difference in my body, and I'm feeling a lot stronger this year. So like I said, all that hard preseason, it hurts at the time, but it pays off dividends in season.
Do you feel like dropping weight to play in the middle is a weird concept, but do you feel like that's more the modern day front rower, like fast leg speed, high minutes, high work rate, just getting through a shit ton of work compared to the old days where it was like big bodies, 20-minute stint, and then you're off?
Yeah, well, 100%. I feel like these days, like the front rows these days aren't, they're not weighing 125 or 100, 120 or 115. I feel like the modern day front rows are real fast, nippy, can ball play. So it definitely makes the game faster, and there's less stoppages and more ball and play. So you definitely have to be fit for it.
Marcelo's joined you there, bro, a fellow ex-Warrior. What's it like having Mars there? Because he's a great bloke, and I think a lot of people underestimate just how good of a leader he is as well. He really drives good standards.
Yeah, 100%. It's good to have a master here. He is a freak, man. The way he runs the ball every game, he does it in training. But he's just had 2 babies as well, so he's a dad of 2. And man, it's so funny seeing Mars as a dad, man. It's if you know Mars, like it's just funny seeing him. But to be fair, it's probably the best thing for him. Like he's so mature now. The way he's leading the group, he's always talking. He's always taking part of it, and man, he's adapted so good. He's loving life at the moment.
I have to ask you about Critter, bro, because I'm a huge fan of his, obviously for what he does for the great state of New South Wales, but just on and off the field, he looks like a great bloke and an unreal player. What is he like as a skipper, as a player, and just as a person?
As a person, he's the biggest kid. He's
Yeah.
he is so annoying. Like it's just, but you need one of them in. You need one of them in your footy team.
Mm.
As a player, man, like he's what is he? He's 20, 24, 23. I think he's 24, but bro, he's like you'd think he's 32 and he's played the game for
Mm.
like 12 years, man. He's so mature. And then like I think his resume, like just look at his resume. Like he's run 3 premierships. He's done everything. Played for his state. Played for his country. He's yeah, he's a freak, man. The way he leads the team, and the way he gets the team around. Every time he talks, it's just like everyone just shuts up and listens. So yeah, I think his resume kind of tells him how he is as a player, and also how he is off the field as well. He's a leader, and yeah, he's definitely. I'm glad he's on our team.
For sure. Bunnies this week, bro. Friday, we were speaking about it before I hit record. They reckon it started at 40,000, then 50, then 60. Now Gus is saying he reckons it could pull 70,000, which is out
Yeah,
the gate. How exciting is that for you, bro? Off the back of a bye, you come back to a game like this, and the hype around it is just massive.
yeah. Well, I think last year we got maybe 51, and bro, 51,000 at a core stadium. That's a lot.
Mm.
Um, when you have a packed stadium at a core, it is actually so hard to hear on the field. There was times against Newcastle, I think we had maybe 35 or something, and
Yeah.
that was still hard to hear.
Yeah,
But
right.
the fact that we could have 70,000, yeah, it's crazy. It's got to feel like a grand final, honestly. Like
Yeah.
it holds 80, but if we get 75 or even 60 or 65, like, oh man, it's got to be crazy. And the boys are hyped, the boys are keen, but yeah, we don't really want to overplay it before we play the game.
Does that give you a lift, bro? Like playing in front of a bigger crowd. Obviously, it's just little things, and you're always going to be up for games. But back fencing it with 70,000 watching compared to 20,000, it must give you a
Oh,
little bit extra fizz.
yeah, 100%. Even running out to warm up, and
Mm.
I still get goosebumps to like every time I run out and listen to like the crowd just go wild, bro. It's Doggies fans are like next level, bro. It's crazy. Like I went to the Easter show yesterday, and honestly, I can see 100 jerseys. Like I've never seen so many jerseys in my life. It's just like everyone's coming like supporting us, and we're a big club, and we
Mm.
play for ourselves, but the main part is we play for our community as well. And I think getting all the community and the Doggies fans back on board, yeah, it's really lifting us.
Oh, they are next level. They're like shutting down streets post game. They got DJs with shopping trolleys, the
Right.
works. Like, do you guys see all that stuff and like get around it?
Yeah, no, we do see it, but we can't get around it because I think
Yeah.
we're something. So
Mm.
but no, it's mad to see. I'm not going to say stop doing it. I reckon do it more. I reckon it's mad. The more supporters we can have, the better it is for us. So
Yeah.
the more it lifts us. So it's mad, bro.
100%. Well, appreciate your time, bro. Obviously, you got training this afternoon, so I'll let you rip into it. But all the best against the Bunnies this weekend. I'll certainly be cheering for you. I think the Dogs have actually become my second team now that
First,
you and Marcelo are there as well. So I'll
I'll
get around you boys. Hopefully, a dub as well.
get you a jersey.
Hey, there we go. The fishing worked, legend. And I think we're coming across for Warriors Dogs later in the year too.
Oh,
So
mad.
we'll have
Yeah,
to catch up for a cold one, or maybe even Magic Round in a couple of weeks.
yeah, gun sounds mad.
Super Rugby, and yes, NRL segment a little different this week with Joshy Curran. I'll actually go into a bit of a preview and review in the punting segment for each games where I feel like piping up as well. So make sure you hang around for that if you're a diehard Waz fan and want to hear my thoughts on that game this weekend. But of course, Super Rugby keeps humming. The Aussie teams, I don't think a Kiwi side's bet them over on Aussie soil yet, with the Tars pulling off the upset of doom up against the Chiefs. But before that, we had the Canes versus the Crusaders. First game game of the Friday night doubleheader. The Canes, they hung around to make it an interesting finish. Crusaders survived, being down to 13 men late. Deserved winners for me. They dug deep. I thought Scotty Barrett was insane. Tamaiti Williams, he was strong, as was their hooker as well. Bagged himself a double, so well done to him. I thought the Crusaders were going to run away with it in the first half. Canes hung tough and then got some great impact off the bench. Fought hard, probably should have taken the game to Golden Point too, had a line-out maul right on full time, but they managed to cock that one up against the team down 13. A bit of a disappointing finish there for the Swills. An interesting interaction there between Will Jordan and Ruben Love as well. A pretty dangerous play from Ruben Love, to be fair, diving in at Jordan's knees. Yes, I get it, ultimate competitor, hadn't given up on the play, but shit, if Will the Thriller done an ACL off the back of something like that, I would have been fuming. In the end, those two all good though. All Blacks teammates, I'm sure they've just swept that one under the rug. And well done to the Satyrs. Couldn't believe they were underdogs in this game. Was happy to take the value there on the punt, and I'm glad they backed it up. Tars 21. Chiefs 14, off night for the Chiefs. D-Mac just so far off his game, as were a number of players, and I don't think you'll ever see Mackenzie play another game like that. The Tars deserved to come away with the win. Thought Joseph Suali'i was outstanding, especially in that first half. The Tars, they scored one of the tries of the season for me. They're a bit of a roller coaster team, but at home, they've been so strong this year. Shit on the road. So, good home dub for them, one that surprised a lot of people, including myself. It's one to flush for the Chiefs. Could potentially cost them a home grand final as well if the ladder stays the same, because the Crusaders leapt over the top of them, and that would really hurt come the big dance if those two teams are still in the mix. Nothing you can do now though on your trot. Just get the dub this weekend, which I expect they will. D-Mac demon performance on Ways. Blues 36, Moana 17. Dominant first half for the Blues. Moana's start cost them again. No idea why Pellegrini didn't start in this game, or Jonathan Tamatini for that matter. They win 2 games on the trot with their 9 and 10 combo really guiding the team around the paddock, and then the coaches just say, nah, fuck it, we're going to change you both. I really didn't get that move. The Blues, though, they were the better team on the day for sure. Won the collision area, dominated set piece. Bodie controlled the game so well, pulled the strings, controlled the tempo, dictated the way Moana were playing. The Blues pack just bullied them a little, suffocated that exciting Moana attack. And the Blues now on a 2-game streak ahead of a lip licker against the Crusaders this weekend. Off the bye, they're undefeated. They've got bodies back. They're starting to return to full health. So look out, the boys in blue could be kicking off their run for the playoffs. Now, Landers 43, Drua 20. Landers with a fast start. Drua with the comeback to make things interesting. And then the lads from the deep south, the Spate Soldiers, just ran away to put them away late and make the scoreboard looking more convincing than this win was at the old Sistema lunchbox. Shout out to Fabian Holland. Thought he was really good. Gave the draw nightmares at line-out time. And I'd say Jamie Joseph overall relieved to come away with a win in this one. Snapped the 3-game losing streak. So that was an important 5 points. Reds 26, Brumbies 39. A little bit surprised at this result too. I thought the Reds were the best Aussie team in the comp, but again, the Brumbies just flexed their muscle. Thought Rob Valentini was outstanding. The Brums, every year they just chip away and all of a sudden they find themselves third on the ladder. You don't really notice them just going about their work, but they're always there come the business end, and this year certainly looks no different. On to this week, 5 games, Blues versus Satyrs, and before we get into that, just touch on the news of Mark Telea deciding to depart New Zealand shores at the end of this year. Offered 3 years to Toyota Verblitz, which of course is the team coached by Steve Hansen. And I was a little surprised, more so around the timing and length of this deal. I just thought World Cup next year, he'd hang until then, like all these All Blacks in the past have, and then he would go, or sabbatical at the end of this year over to Japan, come back, play Super Rugby, World Cup qualify, play in that, and then depart. Instead, though, he's just said, nah, fuck it, I'm off. Actually, World Cup not next year, I don't think. It might be 2027 over in Australia, so perhaps I've got that wrong. But yeah, weird to see an All Black player leave into a World Cup cycle. At the same time, good on him though. We're so stacked for outside backs. They've said the money in this, it's double if not triple what he's been offered here, so clearly he's just out to set up his family. You're a long time retired, you've only got a certain amount of window to make hay while the sun is shining. His demand is high at the moment, and shit will he carve up in Japan as well. So go well there, Mark Telea. The old baby-oiled assassin, the slipperiest man in rugby union. He will carve up for sure. This week, though, Blues Satyrs, huge clash. Like I said before, Blues 2 from 2 post the bye, but no harder trip really than down to Christchurch to take on the Cruisers, their biggest rivals, in a place that hasn't been a happy hunting ground for the lads from the city of Sails in the past. And saying that, the way Bodie's controlling this team at the moment, I think they'll like their chances and head down reasonably confident. I think this is going to be incredibly tight, down to the wire. Wouldn't write off the Blues for an upset either. Some massive matchups individually all across the park, and I'm really looking forward to two of the big boppers, and Patrick Tuipolotu and Scotty Barrett going hammer and tongs. Shit, is that one going to be physical on your Saturday? 4 games, strap the fuck in. Drua Tars, 2:05 kickoff from Lautoka. The Drua need this one. Tars away from home, they struggle. I'm going to back them in with the Lautoka location being the main factor. Don't feel overly confident about it, as I never am with Drua games, but I really hope they get the dub. Moana versus the Brums, 4:35 kickoff from Pukekohe. Team's not named at time of recording. I'm going a little earlier here, but hopefully Pellegrini is in the 10 jersey and there's no major injuries for Moana. If that is the case, upset season. I'm going to back them 1-12 to get the dub in front of their faithful fans and restart this winning streak. Brumbies quality side, but I just think Moana at home with the right man steering the ship, they will be too strong. Chiefs Landers from Waikato, if D-Mac is named and in the 10, I think there's a clinic on ways. Lads will be fired up to get redemption for last week, and I expect them to bounce back and be too strong for Jamie Joseph's lads. And then Force versus Canes. I was surprised to see the Force as underdogs in this one, fresh off a bye, games in Perth. Force playing bloody good footy, especially at home this year. Canes having to make a tough trip to Perth after losing to the Satyrs in a bloody tough and physically demanding game. Block your ears, Swirls fans. I like the Force here. Tizano to score a try. Always hungers for a meaty, and I think he'll salute at some great value. This is certainly going to be an interesting game to finish out another hissing round of Super Rugby. Weekly wrap, and let's start with the Masters. Holy shit, what a final round that was. Can't remember being that fizzed up about the Masters or about any golfing event, to be fair. And if it is going to be any golfing event which gets you up and about, it's the one for the green jacket. What a finish this was. A last day, a final round just filled with drama. Blokes shooting up the leaderboard, some blokes choking and dropping down. And Rory, in the end, walking away with his first ever Masters win. Crazy scenes, and how he pulled it off too was unreal. Missed about a 6-foot putt on the 18th to sink it and win it in regulation. Somehow manages to recompose himself mentally off the back of that heartbreak, pull himself together, flush all his demons, which no doubt he was battling internally, because shit, as he wanted to win one of these for ages. He hadn't won a major in 11 years, which is crazy for such an elite golfer. I assumed it was way more recent than that, but 11 years is a bloody long time. That's a long hoodoo to have to carry. But he reassessed, regathered himself, went to a playoff hole against Justin Rose, and in the end, he got the job done. Clutched it, a nice little putt there to get the dub. The look on his face, his reaction, obviously pure emotion, but I reckon there was a shit ton of relief in there. The weight was off his shoulders. You could tell this was a burden he was carrying. Finally getting that bogey off his back, massive. And I just love watching Rory play. He's a heck of a bloke. Been at the top of his game for so long. Couldn't think of a more deserved winner. So I was stoked to see him get the chockies, get the job done. Just a grueling, exciting, gripping finish. That 4 or 5 hours there just locked in on the old Sky Sport now. That was good stuff. UFC, well done to Volk, 2-time champ, beating Lopez by decision. Great to see him back as the champion as well. He's tough as shit, a great Aussie bloke. Of course, boys with Izzy, trains at CKB. Good to see Israel Adesanya and the crew there, right on him, riding him home. Well done to him. And then Paddy the Baddie as well. Talks a lot of shit outside the ring. He's incredibly entertaining. Backs it up in the octagon though. Got the dub, got rid of Chandler by TKO in the third round, and he continues to prove that he's the real deal. Entertainment plus, and he's just shooting up the rankings. Wants to fight the big names now, and he's earned the right to, so good on him. NBA Finals, some elite matchups coming up. We'll run you through those more in the punting segment. Playing games today, though. Yesterday, as you are listening to this, they're going on as we speak. We've got Orlando up 99-84 against the Hawks with about 6 minutes to go, so they will advance and take on the Celtics. I believe Hawks will then have to play the winner of that Bulls versus Heat game, which goes down tomorrow. Then in the West, big playing game coming up. You'll know the results by the time you're listening, but Warriors, Grizzlies, winner gets to play Houston, which I think the Warriors will really want to do, as will the Grizzlies, to be fair. I reckon Houston are the team you want to play out of the teams that are qualified in the West, just because I think it's so stacked in there. Houston are probably the team that you could really beat in a 7-game series. Loser will play the winner of the Kings versus Mavs, which goes down on your Thursday too. Fizzing for playoff basketball. Can't wait to see how all of these series play out over the next couple of weeks. There's going to be some lip lickers, that is for sure. AFC 2-2 draw with Sydney on the weekend over in Sydney. Look, not as bad as a loss, that's for sure. Gives us a couple of points to keep us ticking over at the top of the scoreboard as well. This week we take on the Melbourne Victory in Melbourne. First versus fifth. Hopefully we can come away with some more points in this one. Melbourne City hot on our heels, but then off the back of that, we come home, we take on Perth, and then we head over to Melbourne to take on Western United, wrap up our season before coming back for playoffs. Up the mighty AFC, time to lock back in on them. I've had a couple weeks sabbatical, to be honest, as I thought would really wrap things up. But once playoff times rolls around, you best believe your boy will be all in. And of course, the mighty pool, just ticking boxes, hopefully about to wrap up the Premier League title. You love it. You'll never walk alone. So a lot of sporting action to tuck into over the next couple of weeks. NBA playoffs, that's going to be right on my lips, as are, of course, the A-League finals. Looking forward to ripping into both of those. Right, punting chat, and this is also going to double as a bit of an NRL preview and review from last week. Josh Curran on the pod earlier, so that took up the NRL segment. So where I feel like I need to chime in and expand a little, I will do so here. Whenever we talk punting, of course, it is thanks to the TAB, so get around them. NRL games, same game multi, promo still applies. Missed by one on a 3+ legger, you get your money back in bonus cash up to $50, so get around that. First game on your Thursday night, Manly taking on the Dragons. Manly $1.62 favourites, Dragons $2.30. The Seagulls have conceded 70 points over their last 2 games on a horrible little 2-game streak. They head back home though to Brookie for this one, and that'll give them some real confidence. The Dragons, they've only won 1 of their last 7 games at Brookvale as well, so they hate going there. The Dilf Ruben Garrick, he scored 64 points in his last 4 games at 4 Pines. Hamuli Olakauatu, he scored 4 tries in his last 5 games against the Dragons. Hasn't scored in his last 5 this season though. On a drought, keeps ruining my multis as well. He's paying $2.50 here, so maybe this is the week he dots. Clearly loves taking on the Dragons. Jason Saab, he's back as well from injury. 4 tries in his last 5 games. Value play for the Dragons, try scorer wise, Dylan Egan. I believe no relation to Wade. Got the start last week in a late lineup switch up. He's named on the bench here, but I think Flano will do the same. He's paying $5.80. If he was listed to start, those odds I reckon would be more around the $3 to $4 mark. So I reckon this is good coin if they do make that switch. My thoughts in this game though, I think Manly at home, yes, they got towed up by the Storm there a couple weeks back, but they're normally so strong at Brookvale, and I think they will be too good for a decent Dragons side here. I like Saab and Egan as your try scorers. Manly to win for your same game multi, paying $13.26. Good Friday footy, huge game. Doggies, Bunnies. Spoke to JC about it before. The Mulleted Menace. This one is going to be all go. Dogs $1.30 favourites, Bunnies $3.60. Burden's back for the Dogs. Kickout named on an extended bench. I reckon he'll come in as well. Curran referencing he's a middle now, and I reckon that's a sign. Kicks back to the second row. Curran into the middle. Cody Walker, he's back for the Bunnies, and he'll partner Trell Mitt Dassett in the halves. Campbell Graham back as well. Unfortunately not in the centres though. He comes in for the injured AJ, who just can't seem to be able to stay on the paddock for more than one game at a time. The Bunnies, they've won their last 6 straight Good Friday games against the Bulldogs. Crazy dominant stat there. Stephen Crichton, he scored 11 tries in 12 games against the Rabbitohs. Loves breaking their hearts. Did it for the Panthers many times, especially in finals footy. He's paying $2.55 to cross in this one. Latrell, he's won 11 straight against the Dogs. $3.50 for him if you wanted to back him in for a try in the 6 jersey. Jai Gray, he scored in each of his last 3 games, paying $3.35 here. Ewan Aitken, he's 1 from 1 for the Bunnies, made his season debut last week, dotted, paying $4.25, still in the centres. That's some real value there. And Josh Curran, bit of an STS pod feature special, $4.25 here, although if he's in the middle, maybe that should be more. Second row though, kicks as a late scratching, then all of a sudden that becomes some really good jam. This is a tough game for me to pick. Cody Walker, huge in, as is Burden though, and kick out if he plays. Stats suggest Bunnies, form suggests Dogs. I just think their D is so strong. They're going to be so hard to score points against. And that Bulldogs fan base, they will take up, I reckon, around 50,000 of those 70,000. They will be vocal, riding home their lads to remain the only undefeated side in the comp. So I'm going to back the Dogs. I do think this is a great game for that try-bet option, though. Either team 1 to 12, expect it to be close. For your same game multis, Crichton, Jai Gray, either team by less than 12.5 points, that's paying $14.21. Or you can go Leary, second rower special, 2x, Waz, back rowers to dot, Ewan into Curran, that pays $17.67. The second game on your Good Friday footy, how good is that? Finns taking on the Storm, Finns $4.40, Storm $1.22. Gutted for Moses Leal, 3 months out for him, shoulder injury, Lad can't catch a break, so Fa'alongo comes in on the wing, Anderson to centre. That just shows how stacked they are depth-wise, to have a blow like that but bring in an attacking weapon like Saw Fa'alongo. Shit, is that a luxury? Interesting to see as well, Warbrick still out with concussion. Must have been a bloody bad one. The big one for me, though, Jerome Hughes named to play despite going off early last week with that shoulder niggle. That is a massive in for the Storm. The Dolphins have won 3 of their last 4 games at Suncorp. Love playing there. The Storm, though, they've scored 102 points in their last 3 straight games against the Finns. 3 wins on the trot against them as well. The Hammer, he scored 4 tries in his last 2 games, including a hat-trick last week. Wolf has finally unleashed him. 225 to score in this game. Pretty good value. Storm centre Grant Anderson, he scored 4 tries in his last 2 games, paying 235 to score here. I reckon he's a good bet. Pappenhausen, 5 tries in his last 5 games, didn't score last week, $1.70. Not too bad for him, and one to watch at real value. Dolphins second rower, Connolly Lemuelu. He has scored a try in each of his last 2 games. He's paying $9 to score. Unreal value for someone that the stats don't mind. My same game multi, though, I'm just going the fullbacks. Pepe and the Hammer, both to dot, and the Storm to win, $4.56. Not the worst there. Super Saturday, game of the week. Can't wait for this one. Warriors $2.85, Broncos $1.42. Saturday night footy, 7:30 kickoff at the Fortress, Mount Smart. Fill your boots. The stadium is sold out. The Spates Clubhouse is going to be rocking. Both teams coming in off a loss. Lads in Pacifica kit looking hot to trot. This one is going to be a doozy for the Warriors, of course. Fisher's out with a pec injury, reported 4 to 6 weeks. I've been told they're hoping for maybe 2 to 4, so fingers crossed that is the case. That brings Jackson Ford, though, into start in the front row. Jacob Laban onto the remove. Fullback Chance Nickel Klukstad, concussion protocols, he's out, so Tain Tuopiki moves to the number 1. Ed Kossi comes in on the sting, and then Rocco Berry's 1-game suspension sees Curdy Cape will shift to the centres. Leka Halasima joined the side to start in the back row with Tamaito Martin added onto the bench for his first game of the season. Keen to see how they use him in that bench role. Does he come on? And then CHT move to lock Tamaite into the halves, or does he start? Maybe even at fullback. Do they move then Tame back to the wing, Pompey back to the centres, Capel back into the second row where he normally plays? There's a lot of options for some late changes, plenty of possibilities with the 17, so keep an eye out closer to kickoff around how we line up. This may be the way we do it, or we might have a few tricks up his sleeve, but I'm really keen to see how we trot out onto Go Media. For the Broncos, just the one change for them. Madge, Jordan Ricky, back into his starting side after he served his suspension, the old one-game ban. For the Warriors, stats, we're undefeated at home this year, 2 from 2 in 2025. Love that. The Broncos have won 3 of their last 4 games against us, played on home soil. Don't love that, but we're a different side this year. Warriors centre Ali Leatoa, he scored 4 tries in his 4 games at Go Media. He's paying $2.70 to score here. CHT, he's also scored in both games at home this year. $4.40 for him is a bit of jam. For the Bronx, their winger, Jesse Arthurs, he scored 9 tries in his last 7 games. Crazy, his HIA got downgraded so he can play. $1.62 for him. Adam Pompey, his 100th game, $2.35 for a milestone meaty, not bad at all. Metcalf, the Dilf, he saluted for us last week, tipped him and Rocco out, lads. Both scored at big bucks. Metcalf, though, 2 tries in his last 2 games, 3 in his last 4, $3.90 for him. That's some good value there. And then holy hecka, here comes Leko. He scored 1 in each of his last 2 games. If he does start, gets big minutes on the second row, then he's a special. $4.80 to score. Some massive value about him. For a try scorer multi on this one, I've got the young guns, Leka and Ali. Multi them up, $11.94. Bit of a Pacifica same game multi bet there. And then for your same gamer, straight up on the nose, CHT into Pompey and the Waz. Stats suggest it's a decent shout. A little bit leery, paying $17.44. But I'm certainly not afraid to roll the dice on the Easter Saturday night. Then after that, Roosters take on the Panthers. Roosters $2.20, Panthers $1.68. They're playing each other again after the Chooks bet them only a few weeks ago. Mark Nawanga-Netawasi is back from a calf injury. He replaces Billy Smith, who's out suspended. And then Victor Radley, he comes in to start after playing off the bench last week. For the Panthers, not many. Mitch Kenny, he returns from a shoulder injury, a big in for them. Casey McLean and Luke Garner form a new centre pairing. Isaac Tungle moved to the bench. His fall-off needs to be studied. He's had a tough year this year, as have a lot of Penrith lads, to be fair. The Roosters, they're aiming for 2 wins in a single season against the Panthers for the first time in 10 years. The Panthers, though, they've won 2 from 2 at the new Allianz. So shit do they need a dub to go their way. Dommy Young, he's scored 16 tries in 13 games at Allianz, $1.96 for him to dot. I reckon that is great value. Arguably best try scorer bet of the weekend, really. Casey McLean, he scored in each of his last 4 games, $2.60 for him. Seems to be real jam. Hates a draw and pass. He'll tuck and carry and try score one himself. Nathan Cleary requires 4 more points to break the club's all-time point scoring record as well. So keep that in the back of your rugby league mind. My same game multi for this one, Dommy Young into Casey McLean, and then that try bet option. Either team by 1 to 12. Gun to head, I'd probably say Roosters, but they're so inconsistent, and I do think the Panthers are going to snap this streak at some stage. So that try bet is really safe. $7.47 for that same gamer. I'll be all over that one. Super Sunday, Titans $2.10, Raiders $1.75. The Titans have lost 3 of their last 4 games at Cbus Super Stadium. The Raiders have won 9 of their last 10 against the Titans. So I love the green machine here. They were bloody impressive last week, and I think they'll carry on that momentum here as well. For your try scorer bets, its options are plenty in this one, as it often is whenever the Titans are involved in a game. You got AJ Brimson. He scored 4 tries in his last 3 games, 325 here. He's good value. Philip Sammy, the sandwich, he scored in each of his last 3 games, paying $2.25. Hudson Young, he scored 4 tries in his last 2 games, a double in both actually. He's paying $2.25 to grab 1. Sebi Chris, he scored in each of his last 2 games. He's paying $2.45 as well. Matty Nicholson scored in his last 2. $3.45 for him. And the Titans, they haven't defeated the Raiders at home since 2018. So for your same game multi, all over the Raiders, I'm going to go Brimo and Hudson as well. $11.56. I'm loving the value on offer this week. Knights versus Sharks. Knights $3.35. Sharks $1.33. The Knights have the second best defensive record in the comp, which they need to have, because their attack is absolute dog shit. They've scored just 10 points in their last 3 games. Those 10 points have come in the last 5 minutes of both of those clashes too, almost when the other team has given up and put the queue in the rack. So they're really struggling, which is crazy when you look at the attacking threats on offer. KP, Bradman Best, Fletcher Sharp, those 3 alone should be able to score you more than 10 points. They are really battling. The Sharks have won 4 of their last 5 games against the Knights as well. Britain Nikora, their second rower, he scored 4 tries in his last 3 games at McDonald Jones Stadium, where this game will be played. He's also scored 4 in his last 5 games in general, paying $2.60 here. I like him. Fletcher Sharp, he scored 9 tries in his last 7 home games, $3.70 for him. And then the Shark centre Hiroti, he scored in each of his 3 games this season where he's laced up, paying $2.90. So for my same game multi here, I think it's just safer to back Sharks players and back them to win. Hiroti into Nikora, Sharks to win, $7.78. Then your final game of the weekend, Tigers, Eels. Tigers $1.70, Eels $2.15. Monday night football as well. How good is this going to be? Public holiday, you wait all day, then you strap into this one. And I reckon there's going to be a bit of spirit about this one. What a week it has been for the Tigers. They've had the Galvin drama. I'd be looking for a player swap for him right now if I was the Tigers. Get him out of there immediately. He's been dropped for this one, of course. Adam Dewey moving into the Haas with Latu Fainu, unfortunately out at the moment with injury, but you'd have to think he's the long-term bloke that will slot in there. For the Eels, they get Mitch Moses back in what is a massive win for them. Up against his old club, I'm sure he would love to carve them up. An interesting point too, Mitch Moses, his cousin Isaac Moses, is of course the famous player agent, famous for a lot of the wrong reasons, and he's also Lockie Galvin's agent. He's 99% to blame for this fiasco, I believe. So for the Eels, they get Moses back. Could be their biggest benefit, but then having Moses as Galvin's manager could also be their biggest downfall. I think this game's going to be pretty spicy. Jerome Luai, Api Karasau certainly stating how they feel about Galvin, and I reckon they're 100% on the money. Good on them for standing up for their coach as well. In terms of some stats on this one, Tigers, they've won their last 3 straight against the Eels at CommBank, and the Eels have only won 2 of their last 8 games at their home ground. Sunia Taruva, he scored 7 tries in his last 5 games, paying $1.70 here. Stafford Toa, been unreal in the centres for the Tigers, also played his way into my fantasy team, so congratulations to him. He scored 4 tries in his last 3 games, $2.85. That's some good buying. Eels centre Sean Russell, he scored 4 tries in his last 4 games at CommBank, paying $3.05 to dot here. Josh Adokar, 4 tries in his last 5 games, 1 in each of his last 2, $1.78 for a proven try-scoring machine. Adam Dewey, he'll play his 100th NRL game, $3 for him. This week he's in the halves though. And then something for a bit of value. If you like eking out some extra dollars and cents into your same game multi, I reckon keep an eye on the Tigers' big boppers, the 2 enforcers, Terrell May and Whanua Pole. Both of them playing unreal code at the moment. May $5.50, Pole at $6.20. Both not noted try scorers, but they'll look to take on this para pick, and I think they could really dominate the middle. One of them to dot is some pretty good value. In terms of your same game multis, look, I'm backing the Tigers to win here. I think they make a statement, show they can do it without old Galvin Klein and get the dub. So I've got them into Taruva and Toa, a triple T multi $5.81 Rugby League cents. Super Rugby, best bets for this weekend. Crusaders versus Blues. I like either team to win by 7.5 points or less. That try bet option. I also like Moananu to dot down the hooker if he's named to start. Again, recording this before team naming 4 o'clock on a Wednesday because I'm a busy lad. So if he's in the 2, I like him. I do think this game is going to be really tight. Like I said, Blues have the ability to push them. Gun to head, I'll probably go Crusaders 1-12, but I reckon that either team by 7.5 or less is a good shout. Drua, I like them head-to-head to get a win in La Toka and beat the Tars. I like Moana 1-12, upset alert against the Brumbies if Pellegrini is starting, as I prefaced before. I like the Chiefs head-to-head, bounce-back shift on ways, too good for the Landers. And then I reckon the Force 1-12 at home, unreal value off the back of a bye. They'll be well rested and up for this one. It'll be a big win for their season, and I can't believe they are underdogs at home. So I like those results, and then I also like a little upset multi. Force 1-12 into Moana 1-12. Back the 2 home teams, 11.52. That returns not bad at all. A couple NBA series bets as well, leaving out these play-in teams and just going for the ones that are already cemented at time of recording in the West. I like the Lakers to beat the Wolves. Of course, 3rd versus 6. It's 2-2 throughout the season from the 4 games, but the Lakers are 1-0 against them with Luka on the roster. I'm incredibly biased, yes, but I got the Lakers in 6. It's a scary series, though, with Ant cooking at the moment. Nuggets versus Clips. They're also 2-2 this season. It's going to be a close series, this one. Clips have finished so well with Kawhi back healthy. Dangerous team. Nuggets sacked their coach a week ago, so clearly there's a bit of chaos going on there. There's the Russell Westbrook factor as well. You can't trust him. Either team in 7 games for me. In this one, I think it goes right down to the wire. Home court advantage for Denver is going to be big, though, so I reckon they defend that, and it goes right down to the line. I'm going to take the Clips. Why not? Clippers in 7. In the East, Knicks versus Pistons, 3rd versus 6. Interesting. Pistons have only won 4 of their last 20 games against the Knicks, but they've won the last 3 straight matchups against them. They've been a bogey side for them this season. I think it's going to be a tough one. Pistons don't back down. Cade is on a mission to prove a point. I've got the Knicks, but I think it goes to at least 6 games. And then Pacers versus Bucks. I got the Pacers here. No Dame to kick off the series, so I reckon they win it in 6 or 7 as well. In terms of Sunday's games, 4 of them to punt on as these series get underway. Pacers $1.48 at home. Bucks $2.65 on the road. No Dame, so I'm taking the Pacers. Knights $1.33 at home. Pistons $3.35. Knicks, but close. Some real value around Detroit if you want to take them on an alternative start. Nuggets $1.73 at home. Clips $2.10. I'm backing the Nuggets in Denver. And then Lakers $1.50. T-Wolves $2.60. Lakers at home to start their series with a dub as well. How good is that? Enjoy your weekend on the punt. Hopefully plenty of winners on your slips come the end of the weekend. So there you have it, another STS in the box for another week. Hope you enjoyed the yarn with Josh Curran, as well as every other box we have ticked. Up the mighty Warriors. Hopefully a bounce back win on Wades for us at Go Media Saturday night. If you're heading out to the game, enjoy it. Might catch you there for a couple brewskis. If we cross paths, will be bloody good to see ya. Enjoy a sold-out Fortress. I've no doubt the atmosphere is going to be electric, and hopefully this forecasted bad weather clears by then. We get dished up a doozy by the footy gods, and the boys can perform to the best of their ability. Lots of sport to tuck the teeth into this weekend as well, so hope you enjoy that. If you're having a flutter, go well. Hopefully green ticks on bet slips this weekend, and it can be a lucrative one for you. I'll catch you back here, same time, same place next week. Go well. Have a good one. Big Fizz.